Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to StudioSec. Thank you for watching. Like this video if it's helpful, comment down below with your thoughts on TryHackMe's Vulniversity. I thought it was pretty fun. I learned a lot. So anyway, let's take a look here. Last time we dove into TryHackMe, we went through Blue, which exploited the Windows vulnerability Eternal Blue. This time we're going through Linux, and there is a vulnerable web app that a Linux box is going to be hosting, and so we're going to exploit that. So first, let's dive right in. A couple disclaimers. 2, you may hear music. Let me know if it's too quiet or if it's too loud. I'm trying to add that so there's some, filler noise while we're actually doing stuff here. And what was the other thing? If my camera freezes, like right now, I am actually streaming from my phone. I'm going to say something that might alienate people. I'm a Mac guy. But the one thing I don't like so much about Macs is the inbuilt camera sucks. It's bad. And so especially for something like this, I prefer to use my phone. But that being said, sometimes it can lead to some fuzzy video. Anyway, let's dive in. You might notice everything's already up. That's because I've just gone through half of this. But last time with Blue, I worked through all of Blue, answered all the questions, and then I cleared my answers out so I could answer them during the stream. This time I'm not going to do that. And the reason for that is whenever we get to compromise the web server, I had some issues. And so for the sake of time and in this stream, I want to make sure that we're actually, working through this effectively, but I'll actually show you some of the issues I had. So task number 1, no one should really have any problems with that. You start the machine. Great, super hard, right? Task number 2, reconnaissance, and this will be probably the first step any of you do whenever you're doing any kind of offensive security task, right? So you're going to do some level of reconnaissance. So and it'll give you the command that you should use here. I have the flags I prefer. I don't know if you have any flags you prefer. Comment. Let me know what flags are your favorite. But just for review's sake, we're going to work through this cool table that it provided us because these are some nice little handy flags. And if you want to learn more about Nmap, just open up a terminal and do H. You can also spell out help, but H is really just like an abbreviated help page for you. And it will show you all the different flags that you can use here. So that's pretty cool. So let's go back over here to this table. So we'll just kind of work through here. So -SV scans the different versions of the services. So it'll execute some inbuilt scripts for further enumeration. I like to use it. It's a nice handy little flag that does all kinds of cool stuff for you. -C, scan with the default Nmap scripts. That's a nice one that you can use as well. I mean, heck, whenever you're doing reconnaissance, your goal is to get as much intelligence as you want because that's stuff that you are going to use in your attack. So, certainly doesn't help to use -SC, right? -V is verbose mode. Now, there are actually 3 levels of verbosity you can use. You can use up to 3 Vs. So this would be like light, 2 Vs would be like medium verbosity, and then 3 Vs would be maximum verbosity. And this will, by verbosity, it means it's also going to be putting some output during the scan, which can be nice in case you're curious if it ever hangs and isn't running anymore. Verbosity, with some level of verbosity, it will actually have an output for you. -SU is for UDP port scanning, and -S, you can think of this as self-scan, so TCP send port scan. So that's all kinds of cool little flags we can use. Again, my favorite would be -SS and -A because it gives us a ton, but this time. So by the way, I should say it's a windy day and it's hot. I had the door open, completely forgot about it. That was loud. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Friday. You can really tell. Okay, so there are many Nmap cheat sheets that you can use as well. Super cool. This is nice and handy that you can use, but definitely do have one, especially as you are learning. So now we're going to go ahead and scan this box. And just to kind of show off some of these flags, let's do Nmap. We'll do -A, we'll do -SC, we will do -SS, and put that there. And then of course, -OA, This means output all. So if you want to make sure that you have the output of this scan available to you, and you don't want to have to keep going back and forth, and scanning multiple times, you can do -OA. So we're going to call it Vulniversity. So it's going to scan really quick. Super cool. Let me know in the comments how everybody's doing. Thank you for watching. Oh, I hope that door is not going to be like going off right now. And I did not put a -V for verbosity, so that's why we're not getting any output here. I probably should have for demonstrative purposes. If I wasn't such a goober and I was streaming earlier while I was on preview, like I was streaming for real, then you would have actually seen -V used in this scan. But you live and you learn. I wonder if, yep, here we go. So here's all of our results. Cool. So the first question is, how many ports are open? And by the way, yes, the answers are here, but for the educational value, definitely use this as a walkthrough if you're getting stuck, but definitely work through it on your own. Don't just copy and paste the answers. That provides zero educational benefit. And we are all about the learning on this channel, right? So we're going to check for open ports 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then of course 6 hiding right here. I should unfull screen this so we don't have that left side hiding right there. Okay, and I'm going to lower this window here. So we got 6 open ports. Super cool. What version of the Squid proxy is running? We can actually see that right here on 3128. It is running 3512. Of course, the correct answer is 3512. This next question, how many ports will Nmap scan if we flag -P400? You don't have to do another scan for that. You can actually read it. The answer's in the question. It's 400. And that's because if you remember up here, -PX, this is an integer. It gives you the integer right here, and it's asking, hey, what is that integer? Like, what is the value of x? Well, in the question, you pass the value of x right there, so you just take 400. That's the correct answer. Using the nmap flag-n, what will it not resolve? And of course, you can already see the answer, but let's see why that is. You can do, again, nmap-h, because it has all the available flags here. And we scroll up a little bit. Here we go. -N and -R. Never do DNS resolution. So that is the answer there. And then next is, what is the most likely operating system the machine is running? So this, you can read it, Ubuntu. Let's see here. There's another line that'll say Ubuntu. It's pretty clearly Ubuntu. Plus it's running, Linux. You know it's running Linux. It's running Apache, which is another indicator that it's running a Linux OS, because Apache runs on Linux. If it was a Windows, it would be running like Windows Web Server or something. Fighter Club Nashik says, all good, how about you? I am good. I'm happy it's the weekend. So the answer here is Ubuntu. What port is the web server running on? And of course, we see Apache. That is going to be what is hosting the web server. It is running HTTP on 3333. And you can actually see the HTTP title, Vulniversity. So, and we'll kind of consider this part 2 of our reconnaissance. Let me make sure this is still on my clipboard here. We're going to take this. Let me know if that door, if you guys can hear that, and I will go tackle that right now. 3333. Here it is, Vulniversity. Good stuff. So we can see everything we need. Nmap, thank you. Next, we're going to use Gobuster. And this is basically a tool that we can use to brute force URIs, which are directories and files, DNS subdomains, and virtual host names. For this machine, we will focus on using it to brute force directories. Now, this is already pre-installed on the attack box. So if you don't have it pre-installed, you need to apt-get it. sudo apt to get it, or you can download Gobuster from their website. We already have it, don't need to do it. That's exciting. We have a bunch of other flags here in this handy little table. Another cool tool you can use instead of Gobuster if you want is Derb. I'm sure some of you have probably heard of Derb before, or Derbuster. It's the same thing, just like Derb is a more abbreviated title for Derbuster. But anyway, for this, we're going to use Gobuster. So -E, print the full path, or print the full URLs in your console. -U, target URL. And you will actually see this in this command. -U, and then we specify the URL. -W is the path to the word list. So -W, path to the word list. U and P, we can actually do an authenticated scan. So -U, username, -P, password. How cool is that? -P, and then we specify the proxy, if we want to use a proxy for the requests. And then -C, and then we can put our cookie. If we want to use a cookie to simulate authentication, or really just kind of, do some kind of spoof. So that's exciting. So anyway, we're going to use Gobuster here. Again, we already have it installed. We already outputted this, so let me see. Here we already have the scans twice because I've scanned it twice because I'm a goober. Clear. Okay, so we will use Gobuster dir. Is it dir? D-I-R? Okay, yes it is. I've only used this a handful of, literally just for this lab. So let's try this again. Clear. Gobuster dir -U -W, and then we can use rocku.txt at user share word lists rocku.txt. Connection refused. That's because we have to specify port, and I did not do that. My B. URL scheme not specified. What? Because we also need to specify HTTP. No problem. No problem at all. And we don't want to do HTTPS because we're evil people and we like to do unencrypted things. Oh, not full screen. Whatever, we'll just do this. So I actually know what we're looking for. If you follow me on Twitter, then you might have seen me tweet last week, this last week, that this was taking forever. It's because I wasn't paying attention. And we can actually get the results already right there. It's /internal. And the reason is, let me pull up the actual HTTP code. 301, which is a redirect, it's basically proving to us that that is in existence. So /internal, and it takes us to an upload page. So that's cool. So now we know that this upload page exists. And that is it for Gobuster. Thank you, Gobuster, for your help. Now, this is where things got kind of nasty, is actually compromising the web server. Is this upload page will actually not accept certain formats of files. So, for instance, .php, and this section also takes a minute. So, for the purpose of this stream, we're just going to kind of go over the answers. We'll probably go through this wordless attack. But we're not going to create we're not going to create files of different formats and upload them. But try that if you're wanting to experiment and learn. I already did that. It took a while. So we find out that PHP doesn't work, okay? Because it will only accept a certain format. So to identify what extensions are not blocked, we're going to fuzz the upload form. And fuzz basically means that, think of it as like grabbing like a handful of rocks and you're just wondering which rock is actually going to do it. Fighter Club Nashik says, I guess instead of rock, you should have used the WebDir wordless. Yes, I could have done that. I mean, again, I'm learning. I wouldn't say I'm the smartest tool in the shed. There was also, what was the other? Sure want to exit. No, I don't. Close. There was another word list that I saw earlier. Let me do cd user share word lists. There are cool derb word lists, and then there's also fast tracks. So let me do like cat fast track. Is this really what I want to do? Okay, yeah. So it's got all kinds of cool. I hope there's no like expletives in here. Anyway, we're gonna clear out before we run any expletives on there on accident. Sometimes on word lists, people will put expletives just because they might be in a password. So might want to have that in your word list, right? Anyway, I believe is fast track. I guess my question is fast track a smaller word list than RockU? So could have used WebDir word lists. I'll have to play around with that. I will have to play around with that. So we've already created PHP. Oh, you know what? We didn't. Nano PHP. We were actually, this is where we were whenever you caught me, Fighter Club Nashik. This is where I was, and then I realized that I wasn't actually streaming on YouTube, which I had every intention to do, so that's totally on me. But anyway, now we're caught up, PHP 5 and then PHTML. These are the different the different formats. Oh, and we also want to put dots in front of them. We don't have to do that. We can actually make up for that in a different way. And I will show you what that is here in a moment. So yes, and we want to do PHP TXT. Correct. Small list. Okay, so PHP TXT. That is what we're going to use for this attack. Give me one moment. I'm going to need to secure this door real quick. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Again, it's a windy day. Okay, so what we want to do is I want to turn interceptor off. I'm going to put this here through burp, which if you haven't done this, let me know in the comments section if you want me to go through the burp lab and try hack me, and I will do that because that actually taught me quite a lot about burp. So we are going to rerun that. We're going to add this to scope. Yes. And then what do we want to do? We want to try uploading, you know, whatever. Let's go root. What do we want to try uploading? What directory was this word list in? Let's try doing that. Word list? Okay. Wordless, here we are. Okay, so let's try submitting that. Of course, you're going to get the extension not allowed, but why we did that is because I wanted the event. So we go to proxy, HTTP history. Then you see this post. We're going to push this over to, which was it again? Let's go over here to intruder. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to send this to intruder. Go sniper. Cool. I'm going to load this. Oh, okay. User share. What we're doing, let me explain here in just a moment. User share word list. I'm going to explain it right now. Okay, so what we're going to do. So we created the event here. Yeah, let me fix this camera real quick. Again, okay, cool. Again, I'm streaming my camera off my phone because my Mac has terrible resolution. So you'll have to bear with me there. So what we're going to do, we've created the event of sending a document and uploading it. Of course, it was denied, but we got in we got the HTTP post event recorded in burp, which is what we want. So we took that event, we sent it to intruder, and now we're basically just going to repeat this, and it'll actually walk you through this as well. So what we really want to do, because we really don't care about what's in, we're going to clear, and then we're going to add new. Let me do clear. We already have the dot, so let's do add, and then let's add here. So what's going to happen, what we just did, is it's going to replace the .txt with .php, .php3, .php4, and it's going to cycle through that until it finds which one is going to work. Now this one, we're going to work through it. I don't know if this is actually going to work. Hopefully it does. Let's start the attack. See, okay, so here's the thing. Because it said that those weren't exactly supposed to work. But status 200 is okay. So I'm not sure why that is. Like, why is this okay? Or why is it saying that all of these are okay? I ended up figuring out that .phtml works, but for like the rest of them are not supposed to work. Like we already know that .php is not supposed to work. I'm not sure why it's saying, you know, status 200 for all of them. So if you know, let me know down in the comments. That would be helpful. So anyway, we know .phtml works. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a reverse PHP shell. So let's open this in a new link. We're going to take this, we're going to copy. We're basically just going to take this. Should I have? No, okay. Let's go here. Let's go back to the root directory. We're taking this PHP shell, so git clone. Oh. Shoot. We're taking this reverse shell, and we're going to upload it in PHTML format. So let's cd PHP reverse shell. So, what do we want to do? We want to nano PHP reverse shell. We want to change the IP address specified right here to the IP address of our attack box, which is 10.10.1.151. Oh, whoops. And then I want to exit. I want to save. And then we want to change PHTML. So we're actually changing the name to a different format. Then we got PHTML right here. Sick. So now what we want to do is I'm going to open a new tab. We're going to create a Netcat session. So let me remember which command we want to use here. We're basically going to listen on port 1234 LVNP. So netcat-LVNP 1234. So now it's going to listen, and while it's listening, we're going to upload that. So upload success. So we see it works. Now we're going to need to continue on. So index, internal index PHP. No, that's not where we want to go. We want to, let's see here, because this was another area that internal uploads PHP reverse shell.html. The reason why we want to do that is because it has not yet executed. It's uploaded, but it is not executed yet. So we will, hang on. We're gonna go here. And this should show us the money. So we will give it just a brief moment. Okay, it is because the data returned the status code 200, but the file is still not. Oh, okay. Weird. That's frustrating. Got it. Okay. I thought it was going to give me a different status code. And for context, if you're watching and can't see the live comment, Fighter Club Nashik said it is because the data returned is the status code 200, but the file is still not allowed by the server, or the field, sorry. So that makes sense. I thought it would have returned a different status code for each line. Apparently not. PHTML. Why is this not loading? Hello. Let's try uploading again, maybe. Uploads. HP. Let's try pasting again. Okay. Oh, here we go. So just in trying to reach that, it executes the reverse shell. So here we are. So if I go, who am I? We're www.data or -data, I guess. So you should see the connection. So we have made contact. What is the name of the user? So we will go, let's go home, cd, home, ls, Bill. So that shows us Bill exists. Hi, Bill. And then what is user flag? So let's go into Bill's directory. So we're going to cat user.txt. There's the flag. Super cool. Okay, so that one was like a frustrating deal. This one was also a little annoying. was basically now you escalate your level of privileges. And I'm going to need to take some water here. Don't forget to drink water, everybody. Hydrate or dihydrate. Okay. So you're going to want to escalate your privileges because obviously this restricted shell is not where we want to stay, especially if we want to gain persistence, migrate processes, and bounce to another machine on this network. So it talks basically about SUID, and there are different ways to bounce from SUID, and that's super cool. But on the system, search for all SUID files, and I'm going to have to remember how exactly we did this. Now this is actually, I'm going to show this feature off while we're doing this because this is what I used. If you get stuck while you're working through this, these write-ups are great. These write-ups are awesome. So who do we want to use? I'm just going to pick whatever watchdogs. It's random, right? These write-ups will actually do exactly what this video is kind of trying to do, is it will show you kind of what they did. Now again, following along directly, that can help, but you do want to try to learn on your own, right? And try to do it on your own without, you know, all of their help. So now we want to take this command, find user root perm. Oh geez. Okay. Find -user. So I feel like I'm going to need some time in the Linux section because some of these commands I totally would not even know to write myself. Is it just user directory? No, it's not. Find -user root perm -400 1000, excuse me. -4000 print to mouth, and then dev null. Okay, so I'm wondering if this is going to show us what we're looking for. And what we're looking for, excuse me, we're looking for all SUID files. Is that correct? It should be correct. I don't think that's what we just looked for. I think we looked for something else. No, that is. Because so here's the thing. System control, and if you've used Linux before, you know system control is super, super important because that manages your processes in your, your programs that are running at pretty much any given time. And so if you can pretty much own system control, I mean, you can really own your time on this machine. So obviously that's one that would stand out to you. So we put bin system control in there. And then from here, it just kind of lets you go. It says, all right, well, from here on, you're going to have to become root and find root.txt. Now, this is where things, get even hairier, right? Hey, what's up? Hey, good morning. Or good evening, wherever you are. Let me make sure that my camera's working. Again, excuse me for the camera issues, streaming off of my phone. Okay, so let me see where this walkthrough took us, because there was one site that I feel like I knew about before, but it really helped me looking at it again. Meanwhile, the best reference is, that's not it. Well, actually, another cool resource you can use is that this is actually a video. I'm not going to play it, but that's the thing. So let's do Linux suid. What's the right word? Escalation, I guess. Is that really what it is? Privilege escalation. Escalation. Can't spell. Okay. So there are tons of different ways that you can bounce from suid. It just really, you have to find the service. So let's do, I know that there's a site, I'm trying to remember the name of the site, that we can actually do this in suid privilege escalation. Man, I remember there was a site. Let me see here. Suid. System control privilege escalation. You will spend a lot of time Googling, FYI. Just learning, right? Misconfigured permissions. So here's the thing, though. Whatever they're going to end up putting here, you can't necessarily just copy and paste. Whenever I ultimately found it, I had to type in all the... Here's what I ended up doing, and here's what we're going to do here. I know that I've already put the flag on camera, so there's that, but I'm going to leave that to you. I've already figured it out, but it's... What I ended up doing, there's a website that will kind of help you with this. You create a program that runs in system control, and it runs with root permissions because of a security flaw in system control. And so you have to, I had to type the command myself. I couldn't copy and paste it. But you create the command, and actually typing will help you because it'll help you kind of digest what the program's actually doing. So I found that very helpful for me. You type it all in. The program you push to system control, then you enable it. It runs with root permissions, and then what it does is it reads the root directory, and it reads root.txt, and then it echoes it into an output file. And so you don't even need to get root. You don't need to escalate your privilege. You create a program with escalated privileges itself, and then it reads and echoes into another file. So that's what I ended up doing with this, and I took that from one of the write-ups here on TryHackMe. So again, cool feature that you can use here. One, Google. Two, these write-ups that really help you out, especially because some of these boxes can be pretty hard. And again, my camera's not working. Some of these boxes can be kind of hard. And so there's no shame in using these write-ups. I don't think there's any shame in using these write-ups, to kind of get yourself out of a pickle, to learn something here. This video will kind of walk you through it as well. And so, show the flag again. So that's Vulniversity for you. It's honestly, it's a bit faster, I think, but it was a bit more complicated in my opinion. I actually, between whenever I started and finished, I did the entire burp room because of task which one was it? It was task number 4. Because I didn't even know that TryHackMe had a burp room. It said, here it is, yep, burp suite room. So actually, let me know, GTFO bins. You know what, that might be it. Yep, this is it. Okay, this is exactly the site. So thank you, Fighter Club Initiate. This is what I was looking for. So let's do system control suid. Here we are. See, this is exactly it. Yeah. So if you are in a situation where you need to escalate your privileges, GTFO bins is a good place to look into. Obviously, it'll show you plenty of starting positions and then plenty of binaries that you can actually use to escalate privileges. Thank you for that reminder. I really appreciate that. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you want me to do the burp suite room on camera, if that would be at all helpful. I found that very helpful for me, just learning about burp suite. You know, I didn't really receive any like formal education on burp suite, so that was good for me to just kind of learn myself how to use burp suite. And then coming back to this room, I felt like I had a much better grasp on not only what intruder was, but what fuzzing was, and how to use the sniper attack and stuff like that, because it'll work you through a ton of different labs. So with that, like this video if this was helpful. Comment if you want to see me go in the burp room and the next room as well, which let's do a nice little preview here. The next room, because actually I haven't looked. I might stream tomorrow, by the way, guys. I guess we're going to do Kenobi. We should do Kenobi, shouldn't we? Yeah. All right, next room we're going to do is Kenobi, and I might do it tomorrow. It depends if I come back to this tonight or tomorrow.